Picture this. It's July 12, 2007, in the south of France. Guards at Grasse prison are doing their morning rounds when they hear something unusual. The distinctive sound of helicopter blades chopping through the air. They look up. A helicopter is descending toward the prison yard. This isn't a police helicopter. This isn't authorized. And before anyone can react, the helicopter lands right in the middle of the prison courtyard. 3 masked men jump out with weapons, grab one specific prisoner, and lift off. The entire operation takes less than 5 minutes. The prisoner's name, Pascal Payet. And here's the insane part. This is the 3rd time Pascal Payet has escaped from prison using a helicopter. 3 times. The same man, the same method, and each escape is more audacious than the last. This isn't fiction. This isn't a movie, though it should be. This is the true story of France's most notorious escape artist, a man who turned prison breaks into an art form, who humiliated the French prison system repeatedly, and who proved that sometimes the most obvious plan is the one nobody expects. Let me take you back to the beginning. To understand Pascal Payet, you need to understand what kind of criminal he is. He's not a serial killer. He's not a terrorist. Pascal Payet is an armed robber, old school, professional, methodical. He robs armored cars, security vans, places with serious money, and he's good at it, really good. But like most criminals who are really good at crime, he eventually gets caught. In 1988, Pascal is arrested and sentenced to 30 years for armed robbery and murder during a heist gone wrong. 30 years, that's essentially life. He's going to grow old in prison, die there probably. Most prisoners would accept this reality. Most prisoners would serve their time quietly, hoping for early parole. Pascal Payet is not most prisoners. He arrives at Luynes prison in southern France, a medium security facility. He's young, fit, intelligent, and from day one, he's planning, not how to survive prison, how to escape it. He studies the layout, the guards' routines, the security protocols, the weaknesses, because every prison has weaknesses. You just have to look for them. And then in 1999, Pascal notices something interesting. Luynes prison doesn't have anti-helicopter defenses, no nets, no spikes, nothing. The prison yard is wide open to the sky. It's like they never considered that someone might just fly in and grab a prisoner. So Pascal makes a plan, a crazy, audacious, absolutely insane plan. He's going to escape by helicopter, and he's going to do it in broad daylight. But here's the problem. Pascal is in prison. He can't just rent a helicopter. He can't organize this from inside. He needs outside help, so he reaches out to his criminal network friends, associates, people who owe him favors. He explains the plan. At first they think he's joking. A helicopter escape, that's movie shit. That doesn't happen in real life. But Pascal is serious, dead serious, and he's convincing. He lays out every detail, how they'll hijack a helicopter, where they'll land, how long it'll take, the exact timing. He's thought of everything, and eventually his crew agrees. They're going to do it. October 12, 2001. Pascal is in the prison yard during recreation time. It's a beautiful day, sunny, clear skies, perfect flying weather. Pascal is playing soccer with other inmates, acting completely normal, but he's watching the sky, waiting, and then he hears it, the sound of rotor blades. A helicopter appears over the prison, descending fast. The guards are confused. Is this an inspection, an emergency? They don't know. They're not prepared. The helicopter lands in the yard. 3 armed, masked men jump out. They don't fire their weapons. They don't need to. The guards are too shocked to react. The men grab Pascal, pull him into the helicopter, and lift off. The entire escape takes less than 3 minutes. By the time the guards realize what just happened, the helicopter is already disappearing over the horizon. France goes crazy. This has never happened before. A helicopter prison break, in broad daylight. The media is everywhere. Headlines scream about the audacity. The prison system is humiliated. How did this happen? How is the security so lax? But Pascal is free. He's out. After 13 years behind bars, he's breathing free air again. He goes into hiding, changes his appearance, lies low. The police are hunting him everywhere, but Pascal is smart. He's patient. He knows how to disappear. And he stays free for almost 2 years. 2 years of living under false identities, moving constantly, always watching his back. But in 2003, the police finally catch him. He's arrested in Spain, extradited back to France. And this time they're not taking chances. They send him to a maximum security prison, Fresnes, one of the toughest facilities in France. Fresnes has helicopter defenses, nets over the yard, guards on the roof. They've studied Pascal's escape. They've learned. There's no way he's pulling that stunt again. Pascal Payet will serve the rest of his sentence here. Case closed. Except, Pascal is planning again. Because here's the thing about Pascal, he's not just an escape artist, he's loyal, dangerously loyal. While he was free, he made friends, people who helped him, who risked their lives for him, and some of those people are now in prison too, and Pascal doesn't forget his friends. April 14, 2003, just a few months after Pascal is locked up in Fresnes, something insane happens. A helicopter descends on Fresnes prison. Armed men rappel down, land in the yard, and grab 3 prisoners. Not Pascal, his friends. The guys who helped him escape in 2001 and are now serving time for it. Pascal organized this escape from inside prison. He couldn't escape himself because the security around him is too tight, but he could plan an escape for his crew, and he did, because that's the kind of guy Pascal Payet is. You help him, he helps you, even if it means breaking you out of prison. The French authorities are furious, humiliated. Again, twice in 2 years, helicopters have landed in French prisons and snatched prisoners. The media is having a field day. Politicians are demanding answers. The prison system is a laughingstock. So they move Pascal, multiple times. Different prisons, different security levels. They never tell him where he's going until he's there. They surround him with guards constantly. They monitor every visitor, every letter, every phone call. They install anti-helicopter defenses everywhere. This time, Pascal Payet will not escape. But Pascal is thinking 3 steps ahead, because while the authorities are focused on helicopters, Pascal is working on something else. He's making connections inside prison, finding people who can help, and on the outside his network is still active, still loyal, still willing to do anything to get him out. July 12, 2007, Pascal is now at Grasse Prison, another maximum security facility. He's been here for a while. The guards know him, they watch him constantly. He's the most famous prisoner in France, the helicopter escape guy. Everyone knows his face. He's not getting out. It's early morning, recreation time. Pascal is in the yard with other inmates, and then once again he hears it, the sound of helicopter blades. The guards hear it too. They look up, and their blood runs cold. No, not again. This can't be happening again. But it is. A helicopter descends, fast, aggressive. It lands in the yard. 4 masked men jump out, armed with assault rifles. They run straight to Pascal. The guards are screaming, alarms are blaring, but nobody moves. The masked men have weapons. They're not bluffing. Pascal climbs into the helicopter. The men follow. The helicopter lifts off, and just like that, Pascal Payet has escaped from prison by helicopter for the 3rd time. France loses its mind. This is beyond humiliation now. This is a joke. The prison system is a joke. Security is a joke. How does the same man escape the same way 3 times? How is this possible? News outlets around the world pick up the story. French prisoner escapes by helicopter again. It's funny if you're not French. If you're French, if you're a politician, a prison official, a police officer, it's a disaster. This is the most embarrassing failure in French law enforcement history. But Pascal, he's free again. And this time he's a legend, not just in France, worldwide. He's the helicopter escape guy, the man who did the impossible, not once, not twice, 3 times. Of course the police are hunting him with everything they have. Every cop in France is looking for him. Interpol is involved. They're checking every airport, every border. Pascal is now France's most wanted man. But Pascal has learned from his previous captures. He goes deep underground. He moves constantly. False identities, safe houses. He's careful, paranoid, even he knows they're coming for him. It's just a matter of time. But for now he's free, and he's going to enjoy it. For 18 months, Pascal stays free. 18 months of evading the largest manhunt in French history. But in December 2007, the police get a tip. Pascal is hiding in a town called Mataro in Spain. They raid the safe house. And there he is. Pascal Payet, the helicopter escape artist, arrested again. This time, the French authorities are done playing games. They extradite him and send him to a prison that's basically a fortress. Constant surveillance. Guards everywhere. Anti-helicopter defenses that could stop a military assault. And they add 15 more years to his sentence, not just for the original crimes, but for the escapes. Pascal now faces 40+ years in prison. He's in his 40s. He'll be an old man if he lives that long, when he gets out. But here's what's fascinating about Pascal Payet. He never expressed regret in interviews, because yes, he gave interviews from prison. He's calm, articulate, almost charming. He explains his philosophy. Prison is meant to contain me. My job is to escape. It's a game. They try to hold me. I try to get free. He doesn't see himself as a villain. He sees himself as a professional. Escaping is just part of the job. And those helicopter escapes, he's proud of them. They required planning, coordination, courage. They were perfect operations, works of art. The prison authorities, of course, don't see it that way. They see a dangerous criminal who humiliated them repeatedly, but even they have to admit, grudgingly, that Pascal's escapes were brilliant. The planning alone was extraordinary. Hijacking helicopters, coordinating teams, executing the escapes without casualties, these were military-level operations. And Pascal wasn't done making headlines. In 2011, while in prison, he was linked to another escape attempt. This one didn't involve a helicopter, it involved explosives. The plan was to blow a hole in the prison wall, but the authorities found out before it could happen. Pascal denies involvement, but nobody believes him. Here's the thing about Pascal Payet. He represents something that terrifies prison systems everywhere. He proved that no prison is escape-proof. That with enough planning, enough resources, enough determination, you can break out of anywhere. His escapes weren't lucky flukes. They were calculated operations that succeeded because he found the weaknesses in systems that claimed to be secure. After his escapes, prisons across France, across Europe, redesigned their security. They installed anti-helicopter nets, spikes, and detection systems. They changed protocols for airspace violations. They increased guard presence during recreation times. Pascal Payet single-handedly forced an entire country to rethink prison security. But Pascal also represents something else, loyalty. He could have escaped alone and disappeared. Instead, he organized escapes for his friends. He risked his freedom multiple times to help the people who'd helped him. That kind of loyalty, even in the criminal world, is rare. And it's part of why he's become a legend. Today, Pascal Payet is still in prison. He's older now, less of a flight risk according to authorities. He'll eventually be eligible for parole, but the question everyone asks is, will he try again? Probably not. The escapes were only possible because of specific circumstances: lax security, loyal crews on the outside, access to resources. Those conditions don't exist anymore. Prisons are prepared now. They know who Pascal is. They know what he's capable of. But there's a part of everyone, even the guards who watch him, that wonders what if. What if Pascal has one more escape planned? What if he's just waiting for the perfect moment? Because if anyone could pull off a fourth helicopter escape, it would be him. The story of Pascal Payet isn't just about escapes. It's about human ingenuity, about how someone, even in the most controlled environment imaginable, can find a way out if they're smart enough, patient enough, determined enough. It's about how the human spirit, even a criminal one, refuses to be caged. It's also a story about failure, system failure, how institutions become complacent, how they underestimate people, how they fail to learn from their mistakes. Pascal escaped twice before they took him seriously. By the third time, it was too late. The damage to France's reputation was done. And it's a story about loyalty and honor among thieves. Pascal could have lived free if he'd stayed low after his first escape, but he came back for his friends. That decision to risk everything for loyalty is both admirable and insane. When people talk about the greatest prison escapes in history, Pascal Payet is always in the conversation, not because he was the only one to escape. Plenty of people have escaped from prison, but because he did it 3 times, the same way, and each time he made it look easy. He didn't dig tunnels for years like El Chapo. He didn't disguise himself or forge documents. He just flew away, in broad daylight, with a helicopter, 3 times. And that's what makes his story so incredible. It's so audacious, so bold, so completely insane, that it shouldn't have worked once, let alone 3 times. But it did, because Pascal Payet understood something fundamental. If you want to do the impossible, you have to think the unthinkable. Nobody expects a helicopter to land in a prison yard. It's too obvious, too crazy, too Hollywood, so nobody prepares for it, until Pascal Payet did it, and then they prepared. But he did it again anyway, because he'd already proven it was possible. And once something is proven possible, it becomes real. Pascal Payet's legacy is complicated. He's a criminal, a robber, a violent man who killed during heists. He's not a hero, but he's not just a villain either. He's a symbol, a reminder that no cage can hold someone who refuses to be held, that systems can fail, that the impossible is just the difficult that nobody's tried yet. And somewhere in a French prison right now, Pascal Payet is probably sitting in his cell, looking up at the sky through barred windows, and remembering what it felt like to fly. 3 times he flew, 3 times he was free, and 3 times the sound of helicopter blades meant one thing: Pascal Payet was going home.